Okay, full disclosure, kids, I did not pay for this. Dovoh sent it to me gratis. And we're gonna employ it in a project or two or more in the future, but right now, given all the snow and ice, I just don't have anything going on that's relevant. So we're gonna do a quick review, features and functions of this thing. So this is the model P4-360g. It's Dovoh's 360-degree, 16-line, 4-plane laser level. Retails for about 300 bucks. $299.99 to be totally accurate. As if that one less penny and 4 extra syllables are really going to drive those sales numbers up. Oh, thank God. $299.99 was my absolute limit. And would you look at that? Thank God! I couldn't have spent a penny more. No chance I could have even considered it at $300. Anyway, Dovoh offers a 5-year guarantee on the laser's accuracy and a 2-year warranty on quality, durability. Let's get in here and take a closer look. Packaging's pretty solid. Pretty tough little case there. Some locking latches on it. Everything looks pretty secure in this foam. So we got our safety glasses, of course. Safety third, as always. Our user manual's in here. Got a little elevating platform for like if you're working on the floor or a countertop, you can just set the laser on that, finally adjust it. Moves pretty good without any kind of lubrication right out of the box. Target for our laser, charger, USB-C cord, charging block, and 2 batteries. A little remote here for controlling our horizontal and vertical lines. Then we have another mounting option, clamping mechanism. It's adjustable up and down there. We got a screw slot, fine adjustment wheel that locks, and a 1/4 20 threaded knob to mount the laser level itself. So we got the main body of the laser level. Should probably keep my grubby paws off the prisms. Yeah, this is mostly plastic, but it feels pretty hefty and solid. A lot of rubber around the edges. The housing on the laser feels like probably an aluminum, coated aluminum. Top part we got power, horizontal, vertical controls here as well, battery indicator, and an option for pulse setting. And pulse setting is if you're going to use a laser receiver for this. Battery port down here. Looks like we got a port here. Yes, USB-C port. And our pendulum lock here. Now the body of the laser's got a 1/4 20 hole for mounting this, and that should fit pretty much most tripod mounts. It also comes with an adapter. If you had a larger 1/2" 20 on your tripod or a mounting pole, to adapt it down to a 1/4 20 threaded mount. According to the manual, this thing has a working range of 98 feet. Now, if you use pulse mode with the receiver, you can extend that up to somewhere between 130 to 200 feet. It can self-level to within plus or minus 4 degrees. And if you go outside of that range, it'll beep to let you know, hey, we can't self-level here. All right, let's mount this thing on a tripod and try it out. So this should be able to run not just on the battery, but with USB-C power. Let's plug it in without the battery and see if it will actually function. Okay, we got our USB-C plugged in there. No battery in there. For some reason, the battery light shows as if it's charging. Let's turn this thing on and see. So we're going to hold this down for 2 seconds. Well, we got a horizontal line. There's both horizontal lines. And both vertical lines. So yeah, it works if you wanted to just plug this in. Alright, we got the battery in there. So this did come with a charger, but you can actually charge the battery inside of the level itself when you plug in the USB-C cable. Can you see the light there? It indicates it's charging. According to the manual, we got a 6-hour charge time for each battery. And with that battery, you can run one laser plane for about 25 hours, or you can run all 4 planes for 8 hours on one battery charge. So, 2 different ways you can fire this thing up. In manual mode, meaning you have the pendulum locked, you're going to hold the power button down for 2 seconds, and it should come on. Manual mode is going to allow you to use the laser for angles. So you don't have the self-leveling feature, but you can adjust it to different angles if you're doing some detailed tile work or hanging something at an angle on the wall. The pendulum lock also acts as a power button too. So if you want to use this in the self-leveling mode, you can just switch the pendulum on and the power will come on too. This thing is supposed to self-level within about 4 seconds. So let's try that out. Yeah, seems pretty quick. And that was our alarm to say, hey, we're outside that 4-degree range where we can self-level. So where do we stand on brightness? Well, it's visible all over the shop. And I've got 64 of these LED bulbs in here. Way brighter than most of the places you're going to be working in. Well, let me show you. Even at 33 feet across the shop onto a white wall, this thing was easily visible. Unfortunately, finding a flat, uncluttered wall in my shop is, well, pretty much impossible. We've got this board set up here at about 33 feet from the laser, which is the indicated distance to measure the 1/13th accuracy of this level. So it's supposed to be within 1/13 of an inch over 33 feet. We're going to run through a little test here to see just how accurate it is according to the manual standards. So we have our line over there, and we're about 33 feet away, the front of the laser level pointing toward that wall, which is going to be wall B. This is wall A. So we're going to mark a line along the laser line here. God, I can't draw a straight line. Well, that's good enough, right? So that's line A. We're going to do the same down here. God, terrible. That's line B. For the next step, bring the laser down here, turn it 180 degrees to have the front facing toward our other mark over there. We're going to line it up, overlapping our line B here. We're going to line it up, overlapping the line we drew earlier. The next step is to compare this to where it lands on our original line A when we had the level setting down here. So right there is our line A. If you can see, falling right on it. Now you could come down here and try to measure this, but honestly, there's no deviation at all here, over 33 feet. So we don't need to do any math. It's supposed to be within 2 millimeters. We're definitely within 2 millimeters. So I went through a similar process according to the manual's instructions to check the plumb or vertical lines. Pretty much the same thing happened. It fell right on the mark and it didn't require any measurement or math. They were spot on. I'd like to do one other test to check these horizontal lines here. Totally unnecessary, but let's just see what happens. So I clamped this 4-foot carpenter's level onto our board here. And I've got the line, the laser line, just kind of splitting the edge of this and still hitting the board. Let's take a closer look at the bubble on this level. Yeah, it's just barely kissing the top edge of that and also reflecting on the board. And we are dead center of our lines on the spirit level. Now, carpenter's level is good enough for carpentry. Good enough for anything we're going to do. We can take it a step farther and check it out with a starette machinist level. Now, this thing can tell you if your surface is off level to within 5/1000ths of an inch over a foot. So we're going to set it on our level here. Make sure this thing doesn't fall. We'll give it a minute to settle out. Now I may be off on this, but each one of these little lines is 5/1000ths of an inch. So this thing is off by 1, 2, 3. So we're 15/1000ths off. So we're off by about 15/1000ths over a foot. If somebody comes into your house and says, "Hey, bro, that shelf, it's off by about 15/1000ths," you need to get them the hell out, because they're a psychopath. Let's check out this remote real quick. Horizontal line. Oh, we got the bottom, top alone, both. Turn those off. We got the rear vertical. Can you see that one? Yeah, it's on there. And we're going to turn our front facing vertical. And we got them both. So the remote seems to function there. I only wish this thing had a power button on it. That would be nice. One thing I would be concerned with is I'd like to be able to use this remote. But what if the battery goes dead? Let's see what's in this thing and just how difficult it is to change it out. Okay, so we got a little button cell in there. It's a CR2016. That's a fairly common one. In fact, I think I already have some of those in the shop. Not that this is something you're probably going to have to replace very often. These things tend to last a long time in small jobs like this. That also gave us a chance to look for listening devices and GPS trackers. All right, kids, that's it. Dovoh P4-360g 360-degree 4-plane laser level. First glance, this thing's pretty awesome, and I probably would have paid at this price point if I had an important project, tile work, or the like. It feels solid. It does everything it says it will do, and it's well within any kind of level of accuracy that any DIY guy is going to need, or even probably a pro. The question is durability. Well, we just got this thing, and I haven't really put it through any rigors yet. At some point we will. I'm going to use this, I'm sure, in more than one project, and we'll get to see how long does it really last. Yeah, it's a Chinese company, but all of these are going to come from Chinese companies, whether it's the parts or the whole thing itself. It did seem to ship from the US though. They sent me an email with the UPS tracking number, and it was 2 days later that this arrived in my package box. Customer service, couldn't speak to that yet because I haven't had to use it. Their website says they have 24/7 service, and it's easy enough to send out an email in their contact list. The person that I spoke to via email that contacted me about this responded pretty much immediately anytime I had a question or replied back to them. So that's another question in the air. Maybe some of you guys have some experience with that and can say something in the comments, but so far I've not had to use it. So that being said, I'm going to put a link in the description. If you decide you want to get one of these, I'll get a little bit of a commission. If you don't want to use that link, go straight to Dovoh's website, pick the one you want, and get it there.